All right, what's up, fellers? Welcome back to the show, and thank you for tuning in. I have yet another pickups video for you, and a bit of an announcement at the end, if you're willing to stick around for a few minutes. You guys seem to like when I show off some things that I got into the collection recently, so without further ado, to lead it off, we have a couple of Nintendo games here, Legendary Wings and Double Dribble, and I got these from Mega Buster Retro on Whatnot. He happened to be selling some games. I picked them up from him. If you aren't familiar with Mega Buster Retro, a lot of what he does are like custom 3D printed items, including cartridge holders. I have a few things from him. I have the Sega Genesis cartridge holder, a Game Boy one, and a Game Gear one. If I haven't shown them already, I'll do it again. I'll put some B-roll in there to give you an idea of what I'm talking about, but highly recommend checking him out. And if I can put a link in the description below to his Whatnot, I'll do that. I'll see if I can figure that out. So yeah, these are my first couple games from Whatnot. Next, I have a very awesome game here called Magic Sword for the Super Nintendo. This was recommended by Bilbo Baggins. This was completely unknown to me. Dare I say it's a hidden gem, as much as I hate using that term that gets thrown around basically every other second on these YouTube videos. But this, I really feel like, is something that just doesn't get talked about. Magic Sword. I would say that this is like a 2D hack and slash type game, almost like Astyanax for the Nintendo, but like on steroids. Along the way, you get these helpers. You get a sidekick, and there's like, I don't know how many different sidekicks you can get. There seems like there's a dozen or more different characters that can be kind of like your partner as you go throughout these floors and progress through this tower. Really, really fun game. Awesome game. Highly recommend that. Next, I have Fire Shark for the Sega Genesis. This one was being talked about by a lot of my Discord and YouTube buddies out there. When I saw that this was developed by Toa Plan, same people who did my favorite game on the Sega Genesis, Twin Cobra, I had to get it. I beat it within a week or so of getting it, but it's awesome. It's challenging for sure. It's one of these games that, even though later stages can get frustrating, it makes you want to see if you can, get better and get better and get better. And it's actually, it's well worth it. You got to stick with it, and it's beatable for sure. Excellent music. Fire Shark for the Sega Genesis. That one's complete. I probably should have showed the inside. You guys like seeing that, right? And got a nice copy there. I think I got this one on eBay, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I wanted to be patient with this one because I know a lot of you speak highly of that game, and I wanted to get a nice copy. Now, last, I have a large stack of games. They all come from Bilbo Baggins. Most of this stuff was from like one care package, one trade, but some of this stuff was from previous packages. I wanted to just lump it all together and talk about it today. We'll lead it off with Deep Duck Trouble for the Game Gear. Never played it, never heard of it. That was an extra. That was a surprise in my most recent trade that we did. Really cool. Let me know what you think of that if you've played it. We've got Rampart for the NES. I've played this before on... Where have I played this? On, I think Game Boy Advance has a port of it, and I've played it there, and I really enjoy it. It's a strategy. I don't want to say point and click, but it's a strategy game where you're setting up guns and fortifications, and you're battling ships that are coming in from the sea. Really cool. That's a good one for sure. It's on a lot of different systems. Sega Genesis, a lot of different systems. Kid Icarus, this is a classic that somehow I didn't have yet, so I felt like that's a must. I don't know, growing up, I feel like you were either a Kid Icarus kid or a Metroid kid. I had Metroid. Anyway, that's my thoughts on that game. It's a must. Journey to Silius, I got this a while ago from him, but I don't think I mentioned it in any video. From what I understand, this was originally supposed to be a Terminator game, but it's hard. It's a good game, excellent music, Sunsoft game, so that's how you know it has great music. Journey to Silius. Golden Axe 2, I already had this. I got this a few years back from Notorious CIB. But it did not have the manual, so Bill hooked me up with the Golden Axe 2 manual, and now that's complete. Awesome. Chakan. This is a tough game. Probably not a lot of people's favorite game, but I have nostalgic memories of this, kind of nostalgic feelings for this game. I used to play this on Game Gear growing up. So I thought, maybe I'll give this a try on Sega Genesis. And Bill happened to have a copy of that. He sent that to me a while back. I feel like that was an extra as well. And then recently, to finish out things in the pickups portion of this video, I have some new complete Nintendo games coming into the collection. Ale Unser Jr. Turbo Racing. I don't know if... the box protector's doing you guys any favors there with the reflections. I have no idea. I apologize in advance. We've got Bad Dudes. I'll do one of these, so hopefully we're not getting completely blinded. We've got Pinball. And we've got Pinbot. This game I probably should have taken out of the box protector, but this game is like completely untouched. There's like no signs that this game has ever been opened. These are all childhood favorites. You know, I have a few cartridge only games on the shelf, but very few are like nostalgic. I'm planning on picking up games that are nostalgic to me and having boxed copies of those. So I'll throw in some B-roll here and show you which boxed games I have so far. There's definitely more than I'd like to get, but it's my little humble complete and boxed Nintendo collection that I'll show you in addition to what I have on cartridge only over there. Hey, me again. I don't know if I mentioned this before, but I wanted to give a special shout out to Kiwi Lord Gaming, who sent me a copy of Donkey Kong Land on the Game Boy and a sealed copy of Elden Ring for the PS4. I feel like he sent this to me months ago. I don't remember if I mentioned this on a previous video or not, but I want to make sure we cover all our bases here and just give a special thanks to him. I have full intentions of playing Elden Ring, of course, Donkey Kong Land, hello. But I want to make sure I set aside tons of time to play Elden Ring because I feel like once I do so, that's going to become my life. The thing is, I just have a couple of games to knock off of the backlog, and then I plan on diving deep into this game, and I'm really looking forward to it. So, Kiwi Lord, thanks so much once again. Enough of that rambling. What I wanted to also mention is that next week, let's see, what's today? I think today is March 29th or 30th. I've lost track of the days. My brain is absolutely fried. But next week, I'll be heading to the Midwest Gaming Classic. And I'm curious if there's anybody else out there who's planning on attending. If so, leave me a comment. I'll be the guy walking around with sunglasses indoors and bumping into tables. I think that's the end of the video. Take care. I'll see you soon.